name is Precious Nwadike. I'm 16 years old, and today I'm excited because it's Halloween, obviously. So I'm excited to see all the decorations around and other people's costumes. Sadly, I don't have a costume today.
No, oh my God. Why did you? Is this like a last minute thing?
It was a last minute thing, and I couldn't really like make up a costume. So yeah.
Okay. The next question is, what qualities of yourself are you most proud of?
I am really proud to because um I'm really good at communicating. Um, I'm really good at talking and expressing myself. I'm good at working hard whenever I put my mind to something. Uh, I really like work hard to like do it, and also I'm very resilient. And also I have a lot of interest and I love trying new things. So I'm open to different um,
Nice.
opportunities.
I love that. That's so great. Um, okay. What is an accomplishment, personal project, or extracurricular activity that you're proud of working on? So it can either be in your personal life, it can be through school.
I think one achievement that I have worked on that I think I'm very proud of is my writing. I do a lot of writing, and usually when I do those type of writing, I enter them into like little competitions, and I like reach out to teachers to like evaluate them, let me let me know what they think of my writing and what I need to improve on. And I think it helps me improve and become better in what I in the writing that I do. And the competitions, I also enter them to see how my writing is compared to other people, and if I'm at a lower level, if I need to work harder on that and stuff like that.
I wanted to ask, have you ever been in like a writing contest?
Um, I have not been in like a physical one, but I usually enter like um contests online and stuff like that, which is how I stumbled upon you guys' program. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm glad that we are, searchable. um, okay, so um, this is there's obviously like a definition to this like word that I'm gonna give you, but in your own kind of sense and like how you live your life, what does education mean to you?
Education to me is um just learning new knowledge, learning new information. It is just being able to pass on information, learn information, um, learn something about yourself. And I think it's just a way to improve yourself and improve the skills that you already have by like working on them. And I think that education is something that's really important in all our, all aspects of life. And even if you don't want to go to college, improving yourself in different ways, even if that's a skill that you do, I think that's really important.
Yeah, that's perfect. Um, do you feel like there's a topic in schools that should be taught that isn't?
So obviously in schools, I would say that there is a limited variety of languages that are taught in schools. And like for example, in my school, it's only I think Spanish, French, and Mandarin is offered because I do live in California and those are the most common languages that people around speak. And I think that learning something new, like maybe German, or someone might like to learn like Italian or something like that. And that would really help to include students' interests.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I wish that there was a lot more languages taught in schools. Like in my high school, there was only Spanish. But that's great that you have like French and or did you say French?
Yes, French and Mandarin.
French and Mandarin. That's really, really cool. Um, okay, so you can be as detailed or as vague as this one as you want to be. Tell me about someone who has left an impact on you and why.
Someone who's left an impact on me, I would say, my grandma. She died when I was really young, but I remember her being like a very like strong, hardworking woman. She worked hard to like educate all of her kids. even though like her husband died while her kids were really young. She worked hard, got two jobs, and she just like inspires me in so many ways. And I miss her, and it's been like I think 7 years since I've seen her, but I still remember her, and she's like one of my biggest inspirations.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's amazing. I love that. Okay, is there a cause or social issue that you're passionate about, and why is it important to you?
One cause or social issue that I'm really passionate about is microaggression in people of color or towards people of color, and I think that it's really important because it's not talked about enough. Because when people like talk about racism, they expect it to be like really straightforward or like racist slurs. But there's just some things that are just like very small, but they leave a big impact on the person that you said it to, and it really affects them. And I think like those issues like that should be talked about. And also, I think things like grooming and just like child exploitation is important as well. Those are like issues that I think is very important, and people don't talk about it enough because with grooming, it happens so much that like people just it's kind of like normalized in some type of way because the people they kind of say like, oh yeah, you've known this person for like how many years, and the people who are being groomed they don't understand that they're being groomed, and the people in society they don't like look at that situation and see that it's wrong and speak up about it. And if they do see it's wrong, they don't do anything about it. They just let it go like, oh, it's not my business. But I think it should be our mission. We should like work hard to like get people out of those situations.
Yeah. No, those are great topics. I think like microaggression is a great one, but also like grooming, that's one that I usually don't hear during these types of interviews. I think like that one in of itself is very like it has become more like popularized in a sense because of like celebrities and whatnot, so we kind of like turn a blind eye to it. But you're completely right, is a very like it's a topic that we graze over. um so that's a really great answer. Okay, what advice would you give to someone who wants to make more of a positive impact on their community?
I would say start small. I would say it doesn't have to be something grand. You don't have to um go every Saturday morning and clear out the whole ocean. It could be something small, like volunteering at the public library. I do that. Maybe like volunteering at like your church if you're religious. It could be something as small as like tutoring people who are close to you, family members, other people's family members, babysitting. It's like a huge impact. Just like being able to be present for the people who are in your community, whether that is neighbors. And I don't think you have to go as far as like you don't have to go as far as like the whole entire community or like you're impacting the whole of San Leandro. But if you're impacting the little people around you, it makes a huge impact in their life and they're gonna remember that. So I would say start small.
Yeah, no, that's a great piece of advice. I think like when people think about like, well, what can I do to make my community better, like the world better, they always have big ideas. But I think like you're completely right. Like baby steps is like key to doing more. Okay, what is a challenge that you've had to work through, and how do you feel like it shaped you to who you are today?
I think a challenge that I've had to work through is it's more like personal. It's innermost, I guess. Um, and I guess for me, it's being like a people pleaser and wanting to be accepted in different social groups, social communities, and all that stuff, and never really like fitting in places. And I think right now, with where I am right now, well, not where I am, I'm still 16, but I think that right now I'm okay with it. Like you don't have to fit in every single group. You have people that love you, and those people are important. You don't have to go like yourself because you think that they look cool or whatever. And I used to do that. I used to be like, oh, I have to, act a certain way or like look a certain way to be like favorable to people, and I don't want to do that. I just want to like represent myself and be happy with how I am, because there are people who accept me for who I am.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. And that's that's such a problem that I feel like affects a lot of like younger people especially. In terms of like getting over it or um kind of like figuring out a way to uh like alleviate this challenge, what is like a piece of advice that you've either given yourself or that you can give others to kind of go out of like kind of cross that barrier?
I would say like set boundaries for yourself. And if people do cross that boundaries, be able to say like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you doing this. And just being able to say no. Being able to say like, I don't like this. I don't like when you do this. This makes me uncomfortable. Or just things like that is like a big step. And I think just like,
Yeah.
people might say like, oh, you don't want to do this, like why don't you want to do this? Or like some kind of peer pressure, and not being able to not fall into that is something that has been a great help for me, and my family has been helpful because they don't let me, like they don't play. They don't let me like, do anything that's like too crazy. So yeah, I would say just
Yeah.
be able to set boundaries and say no.
That's perfect. Okay, Precious. This is my last question. It's not really like um it's kind of just like a fun ender. What do you and so in terms of like standard applications, obviously this is not a normal application process. Like most of the time, scholarships and like interviews and whatnot, like they don't have like a video entry. Um, so in terms of like a standard application for you, what do you feel like usually gets left out?
I think for interviews that I have done, they usually most ask questions that you have asked, like what are some things that you struggle with, how do you better yourself, things like that. And I think sometimes they leave out like mental health questions, which is like important to know like where that person is at. I think mental health and your mental state of being is an important part of yourself. And it isn't just like your emotions and how you portray yourself, but also how you're doing like mentally. Like, are you okay? Um, and like, have you ever like, has something bad ever like happened to you when uh, you feel some type of way, maybe sad, depressed, whatever that is. And I think that's an important question to ask because it helps the person open up, and it helps you understand the person better and who they are.
Hey YouTube! If you enjoyed this person's story, don't forget to subscribe below to hear more from our inspiring youth. If you want to apply for our Storyteller Scholarship or get more involved in our organization, click the link below to apply. Thanks for watching!